This program is brought to you by KLM Northwest Airlines. Hello and welcome. My guest today started his public performances at the age of 6. Over the years, he has performed around the world and won many awards. In fact, today he is considered the Grand Master of Sarod. Welcome, Ustad Amjad Ali Khan Sahab. You have achieved a lot in life. In fact, you have got most of the top civilian honors of the world. Where are you planning to take it now? I mean your Sarod. You have said that you want to make the sarod as popular as the guitar. Is that how you see it?
Actually, both the instruments, I think they are the same. It belongs to the same family. But the world has not yet realized the beautiful sound of sarod. So I hope one day the whole world should be able to enjoy and appreciate the sound of sarod.
It's a difficult and different instrument to the guitar.
Guitar is very...
It doesn't have frets.
Yes.
It is a more difficult instrument to play, or at least that's how it's perceived.
It is difficult, and guitar is various kind of guitars, and I like guitar. I love to hear it. But sarod has no frets, and sarod, one can express through sarod all your emotional feelings. I in fact sing through the sarod. Because we don't read music, we don't write music, so I'm singing through my sarod. And there are certain phrases which should sound like natural human voice, like da na na na. So the same exact expression should be, and by the grace of God, this was my difficult part. I was struggling for it, that sarod should be able to sing, because sarod by nature is a very robust, very virile and staccato instrument.
And Indian music is also quite different in one way from Western music, that you have the slides.
Yes, yes.
The way it modulates.
Yes, because most of the symphonies, the composers, they have written music, keeping in mind violin or guitar or cello or oboe. But sarod is more expressive, and in the Western world generally you hear like this. I love Western classical music. I have great regards for Beethoven or Bach, Mozart. But we have another expression which is not heard in European music, and which is very typical. I think it's a essence of our Indian classical music. About improvisation, world is aware. Yes, we do improvise. Second point, yes, we don't write music. We don't read or write. But the third point is that our expression is almost like sliding and gliding, which is part of our way of conversing. And I find these are very graceful expression. When you slide from one note to 6 note, 7 note, da, a, re, na, na, a, re, na, e, ri, re, na. And we have ornamentation like e, re, na, ma, ga, re, sa, ni, da, pa, da, ni, sa, re, ga, re, sa, ni, sa, re, ga, ma, pa. So one has to become multi-dimensional, and I'm very grateful to God that I was born in the family of musicians. So
yes, but you are also multidimensional in other ways. You actually improvised to do nursery rhymes for your children when they were younger
Yes.
on the sarod.
Yes, yes. I mean, I do play. I made special album for the children to entertain them. Old MacDonald, I played on the sarod. We Shall Overcome. Do a Dear. So, children enjoy. So we have songs which can be called international songs.
But that's what's made you so special. You were not the classical artist. You went beyond that. You went into areas where others probably were scared to tread. You demystified classical music, and you actually opened the doors and accepted all sorts of music. Over the years you have done that. Now, but you haven't really gone into fusion in a big way. Why is that so?
You see, classical music give you that confidence that you can enjoy all kind of music of the world. And I feel connected with every system of music, every song of the world. I feel connected with every religion, every soul. This is the way I was, my father, who was my guru, Ustad Hafiz Ali Khan Sahab, and my mother, her name was Rahat Jahan. So I felt that they were the great gurus. The parents are the natural gurus. So I didn't have to go out to learn from anybody.
And
so
you
I
are
have,
the sixth generation now.
yes, I'm the sixth. And my
And your-
disciples, my sons,
Your sons are the seventh now.
seventh generation, yes.
And in fact, you play with them very often in
Yes,
what
I
is
do.
now called not the Jugalbandi but the Trigalbandi, I think.
Yes, trio.
The trio.
The duet was common, but trio with two sons, it's
Right.
very interesting. And I always prefer to play with my own sons
Right.
rather than, sometimes I play with great musicians of other genre, other field. But as you were talking about fusion, so I have great regards for fusion also, because no music is, the base is the same, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, or sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. So any music of the world is based on these notes. So I feel connected, as I said earlier. My children, Amanian, they have recently, their album was released, Reincarnation. So there they have used electronic music, but every piece was based on the raga, and they have sung also in the album. So now they are preparing for another album. So certain fusion is interesting, and certain fusion is really confusion. But I have, as I said, I have respect and regard for all kind of system of music.
Your children are now looking at the seventh generation of sarod
Yes.
in the family. In fact, the sarod was invented to a great extent by your ancestors.
Yes.
It was taken from an Afghan instrument and then converted into the sarod.
Yes.
And I believe you all play a very different type of instrument which is designed specifically to your needs.
Yes.
Is it a big responsibility on you to actually carry this forward in the family as a tradition?
You see, that responsibility is a great inspiration. The responsibility of my forefathers, what they wanted to do, and their commitment, dedication to the culture and tradition of India. I may be anybody today, but the fact is that India has made Amjad Ali Khan. India has made Ustad Hafiz Ali Khan Sahab. India has made Aman Ali Khan, Ayan Ali Khan. So it's very difficult for the neighboring countries to understand what India is, what flavor of India we have. And this, in spite of so many religions, we depend on each other. And that is our strength. Like Amjad Ali Khan, he plays sarod, but who makes his sarod? That's an interesting point. Mm-hmm. My sarod maker is Mr. Heminder Chandra Sen. Mm-hmm. So this is the way where we depend on each other. So this is our strength. And this is our Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb, that old tradition and culture. And
But I believe your father was a very strict teacher, and you yourself are not so strict with your children. So how did you get them to play the sarod and take it up at such a level?
Yes, it is difficult, when your own father is a guru. It's a difficult. My relationship with my father was more like a disciple and guru, because our age difference was, I was the youngest child in my family, and I couldn't take liberty, to jump on his head or, to kiss him and embrace him. But fortunately, my age difference with my children is not as much. So we are more like a friend, but I had problems when they were young, and my other disciples used to treat me in a different way, and they will take all kind of liberties, so I was a bit uncomfortable in the beginning. But now they realize.
You also lay great emphasis on your family life. In fact, you say keeping your family happy is a form of worship. Is that how you see it?
Yes, I feel very strongly that the adjustment of life within your family, within your area, I think is the greatest prayer or ibadat. And this is what I learned from my father, because he always mentioned that all of us have a common God. How we come to this world, how we go from this world is the same process. Nobody has a different, no other religion has a different process. So we have a common God, like we have a common sound, common musical notes for any song of the world. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. So these are. So I feel connected with any song, whether it is Pavarotti or Michael Jackson or anybody.
Is music, in your opinion, a gift? It just comes to you. Like you sit there and it just comes to you. You feel it around you. You can hum at any time you feel like, and you can sing. You can play the sarod at any time, an instrument that will express you so well. Is it something that is gifted and it doesn't come to everybody?
You see, we have to realize in our life what is natural music. Nobody talk about natural music. Everybody talk about Western classical music, Indian classical music, or, but what is natural music? So it's as you very rightly said, it's a precious gift of God. Music, fragrance, flowers, air, water, fire, they have no religion. Music has no religion. But every religion needs flowers. Every religion needs fire, fragrance, colors, water. So God has, shown us in so many ways that we have to serve. We are in this world to serve and love and help and achieve our goal of life.
We've seen what people loosely call the westernization of society. Is that a matter of concern in your opinion?
Yes, I belong to the family where values were considered the most important asset. Our music of my family is the greatest treasure for me. So I was not born a king or Maharaja. I am just a very humble musician. So I had to struggle in my life for everything. And after independence, the obsession of education and English became top priority for every Indian. And education, everybody is obsessed by this word. And in the process, it's a beautiful word, education, but in the process we lost our values.
Khan Sahab, what we've been talking about are values, Indian values.
Yes.
Now, over the last 50 years, India has changed. You have seen how we've moved from our days of independence to, in fact, when you were performing at our 50th anniversary or celebrations of independence.
In New York.
In New York, in New York.
Yes.
And recently now, in the last decade or so, we find that change has accelerated. It's what you call globalization, or in some cases westernization, as they say, that is taking place in India. Now, do you think that is a matter of concern for India and Indians today?
It is. I'm very happy with the achievement of my country. And, after the partition or independence especially, the emphasis were on education, and everybody was obsessed with this word, and schooling and college and this and that. And the whole world, I'm very happy, I feel honored and great to hear that India is absolutely at the top. But in this process of education, we have lost our values, our tradition. And because my purpose of life, I not only play sarod, but I carry the whole era with me wherever I go, whether it is London or New York or Shanghai or Japan.
And you also represent the country, of course.
Yes, this is one part of the country I represent, which is tradition, culture, Indian classical music. I cannot be a synthetic musician. I just can't act that I do something else and I start playing sarod. So this whole atmosphere, whole era I carry with me, and I feel sad that younger generation is losing their identity. And westernization, I personally I don't need so much westernization. It's very uncomfortable, unhealthy for my music, for my way of life. So my countrymen and people who love me in the world, they have accepted me the way I am. I cannot lose my identity.
But you feel that the younger generation of today really need to concentrate a lot more on Indian values?
You see, they have to balance. Like Aman, my elder son, Ayan. Aman is now 29 years. He just started. And 2 years his younger is Ayan. So I'm very happy they have balanced this Indianization and westernization. One has to, the younger generation of India, they have to balance, that's all. We don't disrespect westernization. We have our immediate forefathers were people from Britain, I think. So we have learned a lot and we have taken a lot from them, but we have to balance only. And in my children's education and bringing up, and I mean the greatest contribution is of my wife, Subbalakshmi, who is from Assam, a great artist herself. So the credit goes to her if Aman, Ayan, if they are doing well today.
Kasab, I want to know a lot more about what drives you to compose music. But first, we need to take a short break. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
Crown Plaza, Surya, New Delhi, the place to meet.
Welcome back. My guest today is a sarod maestro, Ustad Amjad Khaji. Kasab, what drives you to compose music? When you see perhaps something happening in the world, the tsunami for example, or any world events that are good or bad, does that actually drive you to compose music towards that?
Yes, I did. It makes me feel very unhappy, very sad. After 9/11, I felt ashamed as a human being that how can we kill 5,000 people, and how, all these incidents, when Mrs. Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, the way she died, I composed a raga, the way Mr. Rajiv Gandhi died, and
You've also done one on Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi also I composed
That
a
I think was
raga.
for our 50th anniversary.
And yes, 50th anniversary, 125th anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi,
Yes.
I composed a raga,
Right.
which I first performed in Paris. Mr. Rao was the Prime Minister at that time. And also, as a tribute to my father, I have composed a rag, Hafiz Kaus, to my mother, Rahat Kaus. And
How does this all come to you?
you see,
How do you compose it?
I feel embarrassed to say that I compose a raga because this is very natural process. It comes like a, some message from cosmic power, some tune I'm humming. Da 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 da. So when I stop, then I think, what was I singing? Because I cannot reproduce again. This is the unfortunate part of our system, that it goes. If you record, you can preserve it, or if you write, you can preserve it. But this is a natural flow of music in our system, in our
So do you
family.
record it, or how do you remember it?
No, the whole piece gone, but I remember the notes, basic notes. So I tell myself, what was I singing? What was it? Then I realize here's something new. Then the melody asks me, do you know me? Do you recognize me? Will you accept me, or should I go? It's almost like Atma, a spirit. There are melodies around me, and like spirit or Atma. So I accept that tune, that melody, and then I analyze. What were the musical notes in this tune? Pa ma pa ga ma re ga sa re ni sa dha ni ma pa ma ga sa dha ni pa re ni sa ga ma re ma ga pa ma pa da ni sa ni da ni pa da ni da pa ma da pa ma ga ma re. Then I analyze technically, oh, these are the notes. Then I give a name.
At the same time, there's also a side of you that is now looking at preserving our heritage.
Yes.
Your Gwalior home, you have actually converted into a museum. Now, why did you do that?
You see, we were inspired by seeing Beethoven's house in Bonn. Me and my wife, Subbalakshmi, we were there. And while seeing his house, his piano, his bed and all the tables and everything, I started thinking that do we have such thing in our own country? Musician, artists, have they been preserved the way they are preserved in the Western world? So I couldn't think of, except Rabindranath Tagore, Ghalib was not preserved the way Ghalib should have been preserved, the great poet. So from that day onwards, I tried to, convert my humble house into museum. And the central government helped me. Mr. Arjun Singh was HRD minister at that time. And also the state minister, the chief minister was Mr. Digvijay Singh at that time. So, it's a place where I was born, my father was born, and I learned everything, whatever I am today is because of Gwalior, because of that house, because of my parents. And that values what they have given me, I think that is my most precious treasure which I carry, which I value.
You've achieved a lot. You've played at Carnegie Hall, the Royal Albert Hall. You played at various places. You played for many people. You played with many people. You've got all the civilian awards that a person should get. Now what do you want to do? What is your final aim in life? You must be having many aims, of course, but where do you want to get at? After achieving so much, you must be having something that you still feel you want to achieve.
You see, sarod, my instrument, is a very demanding, very challenging, and sarod was always popular. I mean, my father's generation and earlier generation, everybody contributed a lot. But from my childhood, I wanted to express everything through this instrument. There were certain subjects which were not attempted on this instrument because it is difficult, it doesn't have frets, it is a staccato instrument. So I still feel I'm not able to express everything, and I'm still trying, I'm still doing research, I'm still and teaching a lot. I have students all over the world. And
Yes, you spend half your time traveling and teaching.
yes, I enjoy teaching also. By teaching, I learned a lot. After earlier I was alone. From the age of 12, I was traveling. But after my wife, I had a companion. My wife was with me. Then the children came. So we are all together by the grace of God. And now, by teaching Aman, I learn a lot. And we discuss raga, we discuss compositions, we discuss a decision, which a very important decision in life. So all four of us sit and discuss, and then we come to some solution. So it's I think for all of us, it's a long journey. And Amanian, with their age group, today's young generation, and by the grace of God, they are also they are doing very well, and they are blessed by people, and they are very busy artists today.
What is your message to the young of India now?
I very strongly feel that I wish that younger generation should see a beautiful world, peaceful world, and but for younger generation, I would like to say that if you want to achieve your goal of life, if you want to achieve which is dearest to you, it is possible only with tolerance and patience. If you can't respect somebody, don't disrespect. If you can't love somebody, don't say that you hate that person. And especially the blessings of parents are very important. You must value, they must value the blessings, because in my way of life, I'm always, I'm trying to, through my music, through my way of talking, I want to receive blessings even from younger generation and the old people and people who love tradition, culture and our music.
Khalsab, you're probably the most modest person in the world.
No, it's very kind of you.
Definitely the most modest person I have met.
I have really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope people who are listening our conversation, they contribute to the peace of this world.
Thank you for sharing your views with us.
Thank you.
And we see you next week. Until then, goodbye. This program is brought to you by KLM Northwest Airlines.